David, did you see the Olympic boxing match where a man beat a woman in 46 seconds? Please tell me you are outraged. I'm not pleased to give you the platform and to give you the pleasure of hearing your question, because I do know you listen to the show. I assume so. Imane Khelif is a fighter that you may be referring to, I assume, the Algerian fighter. If you've been living under a rock for the past day, then let me quickly catch you up. In U.S. women's Olympic boxing, there was about a 46-second boxing match where an Algerian woman was beating up an Italian woman. The Italian woman said no mas, put up the white flag, and then people said the Algerian woman is not a woman, she's a man, a transgender, or just a straight up man. And people lost their minds. From Pat McAfee to all the others tried to address this issue and forgot to get the facts of the issue. So what I'm outraged about, sir, is your question. Because your question is the reason why we have a problem in our country. A man did not beat a woman. And I'm not liberal and I'm not conservative. You don't know what I am, and that's on purpose. You think you do, but trust me, you don't. And that's not because I don't want to share with you. It's because I want you to come to a conclusion that's not based on what I think. I want to give you the information, and then you decide what you think. Don't make your view about transgenders or men or women switching sports until you have facts. Now, we can talk on a macro basis, and I'm happy to do that. I do not think that men should be competing in women's individual sports. I do not think that transgender men who have become women should be competing in women individual sports. There, I said that. But the prejudice, the hate against transgender people, what's wrong with all of you? What happened to live and let live? What do you care? Someone feels as though they want to be a man or they want to be a woman. They want to be both. They want to be fluid. They want to be pan. They want to be bi. They want to be homo. They want to be hetero. Do what you want. Feel what you feel. But don't use something that happens in the Olympics as a way to promulgate and promote and misinform people in the name of politics, in the name of religion, in the name of you thinking that what you believe to be true must be true for everybody else. Everybody was so fast. Boy, I was going to do a Pablo Torre swear there, but I didn't do it for you, Coca. Everybody was so fast to get on X, to get on TV, and to quickly give information, except all the information was wrong. The boxer's not even trans. Do you realize that? Forget the fact the passport says female, because that's a good hint. And now we're just giving you facts to try to back up the people who are saying that it was not a trans or a man, because she's not a trans or a man. She's a she. She's a she who wasn't wholly ineffective in previous Olympics. She's a she who did get disqualified by a federation that not even allowed to do business with the International Olympic Committee because they're so, shall we say, corrupt. There could be a scenario where her testosterone level could have been higher, may have an XY chromosome sticking around, may not. Why don't you get the facts first? Or you don't need the facts to just go crazy and tell us your view of transgender and of men beating up women. Jake Paul goes out and says, I will give you a platform to the Italian boxer. I will let you box a fair fight because it's not fair what happened. You know what else isn't fair? The USA men's Olympic team beating another Olympic team by 60 points. I guess that they shouldn't be Olympians. But let me really get to the crux of my issue. And it's not that Algeria never would have sent a transgender to the Olympics because you can't even be gay in Algeria. They'll just kill you. Forget transgender. That's not the point. The fact that she had ever been disqualified from any world championships, not the point. I would much rather have you think about with me what causes everybody to look for something in order to prove that which they want to believe, attach themselves to it like a bloodsucker, and then use their platform, whether they have 1 follower or millions of followers, to promote lies, mistruths. It's funny because you may think I'm talking about fake news. No, I'm not talking about fake news. I'm talking about people who actually don't care to learn about what they're talking about before talking about it, and admitting the fact, hey, I don't do the research, admitting the fact, hey, there's smarter people than I in this room. There's always smarter people than you in this room. There's always smarter people than me. There's smarter people than everybody, just like there's always someone richer, always someone poor, always someone happier, always someone less happy. But what happened yesterday should make you as insane as it made me. So you want to ask whether I'm outraged? Yeah, I'm completely outraged, but not because there was a 46-second boxing match. So what do we do? This is what I've been thinking about. Can it change? Or are we now in such a society where insiders to sports get paid $10 million a year because they're getting news first, and then everyone has to credit the person who gets it first, which only further incentivizes people to get it first, whether they're right or wrong? And we've talked on this show about when it was Shams versus Woj and who got what wrong where. What was the story, Coca? It's not in my mind. They both had different stories about something that happened in the NBA. It may have been Bronny, but I don't think it was. I can't remember exactly what it was. It may have been about a coach being hired. Coke, I know you know this, but you don't have to focus on it. It was about J.J. Redick. Thank you. J.J. Redick and Dan Hurley, when the Lakers named J.J. Redick as coach. What a perfect example where it was just about being first and getting paid to be first, with reckless indifference toward whether you're right or wrong, to possibly making up stories in order to put yourself in a position. That is what people are doing now. They are looking at something, and I can be guilty too when I am fooled by videos that are not current, that are old, or that are not real because they've been doctored digitally. What point do we say, wait a minute, we're not going to respond to anything until we get some facts from actual journalists? Which brings me to my final point. Where are the journalists? It was 20 years ago that I would sit in a clubhouse with players, with our PR people, and I would be asked whether do I give credentials to bloggers. At that time, there were beginning to be some baseball blogs. Who gets credentials to come into a clubhouse? It's a big thing. Now, you can be a member of the Baseball Writers Association of America, but not every Tom, Dick, Harry, and Jane gets to do that. But the team itself can give credentials to whoever it would like. And my view even back then was, are these journalists? Are they trained journalists? Are they impactful? Are they moral? Not do they agree with me? Not are they going to be nice to me and my team? Are they actual journalists? I should have known from the beginning of watching The Big Chill, the movie where a person works for People magazine and says, we have one rule at People magazine. This is from the movie. We don't write an article that's longer than the average crap. And that was 40 years ago. We have certainly developed since then. Forget the average crap. Now we're happy to write anything in paragraph form, under 5 paragraphs. Try to make it 280 characters if you can. And frankly, it doesn't matter what you know, what you don't know. As you can tell, for a Friday, I'm infuriated. I'm infuriated at the question. I put it in the show knowing I'd get infuriated. You did it. Outraged.